Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Ilmi Shah bin Lokman and I'm from BA111 4B. Today I want to present about case study RMS Titanic, and I prepared for Dr. Fazina binti Mansur. And for introduction, sea transportation is a major global method for moving people and cargo using various vessels such as ships and ferries. It supports trade, tourism, and economic growth due to its large cargo capacity and ability to travel long distance. However, it faces risks like storm, accident, and iceberg, as shown by the Titanic disaster in 1912, which causes over 1,500 deaths. This report examines sea transport failures, benefit, challenges, and policies using the Titanic case to highlight improvement for maritime safety. And then for characteristic in sea transport is a large capacity. Ships can carry thousands of containers, vehicles, or passengers at one time. And then the second one is low cost for long distance. Sea transport is cheaper than air transport, and then it is the most cost-effective method for long international journeys. And then the third one is slow speeds. Ships are the slowest mode of international travel. The Titanic took around 5 to 7 days to cross the Atlantic, but modern airplanes take only 7 to 8 hours. Then for advantage and disadvantage. Advantages is environmentally better. Ships use less fuel per cargo compared to airplanes, and then suitable for international trade, which is 90% of the world's trade is transport by sea. And then the third one is safer for dangerous goods. Transport of chemicals and oil is safer by sea than by road. And then for disadvantage is very slow. Takes days or week to reach the destination. And then weather problems, storms, fog, and iceberg can cause delay and accident. And then the third one is high maintenance cost. Ships and port require expensive repair and operation. And then for infrastructure and network is port include terminals, cargo cranes, storage areas, custom buildings, and passenger buildings. For example, Southampton Port, which is Titanic departure, and then Port of New York, Port Klang, and Singapore Port. And then the second one is navigation system. Modern ships use radar, GPS, sonar, AIS, and with the satellite data. Also, safety equipment is life boats, life jacket, emergency signal, and communication radios. And then the third one is sea roads, which is using common global roads like North Atlantic Road, for example, used by Titanic, Asia Europe Road, and Asia USA Road. And then for policies and rules, the first one is create a SOLAS, which is safety of life at sea. Create after the Titanic disaster to improve safety. Main rules is enough lifeboat for all people on board. Safety drills, radio communication 24 hours, strong ship construction standard, and emergency evacuation plans. And then the second one is International Maritime Organization, which is IMO, sets a global rules for ship safety, pollution control, crew training, and accident reporting. And then the third one is Port State Control, which is government checks foreign ships entering ports to ensure they follow safety rules. And then for issue and challenges about the Titanic is about not enough lifeboat. This Titanic had 20 lifeboats, capacity 1,178 people, but There were more than 2,200 passengers and crew. Many lifeboats were launched half empty. And then the second one is an ignoring iceberg warning. Titanic received 7 iceberg warning on 14 April. Some messages did not reach the captain. Some were ignored due to overconfidence. And then the third one is human error. Captain keep high speed 22 knots. It's dangerous in waters. Lookouts did not have binoculars and crew was not trained for emergency. And then for stakeholder in the Titanic is government. British Board of Trade allowed Titanic to sail with two few lifeboats. And then the second one is transport operator, which is White Star Line tried to reduce costs and increase luxury instead of safety. And then passengers and crew. The disaster killed over 1,500 people because safety and planning were not prioritized. And then the last one is port authorities, which is ports now enforce strict safety checks, something lacking during Titanic's time. And then for case study about RMS Titanic is background of Titanic was the largest passenger ship when it was built. It left Southampton on 10 April 1912 and then heading to New York. And then the second one is sequence of event, which is sailing across the Atlantic received iceberg warnings from other ship. Traveling too fast, lockout, saw iceberg at night, no moonlight. Hit iceberg at 11:40 p.m. for in date 14 April. Water entered ships rapidly and sank in less than 3 hours. For aftermath, 1,514 people died. Only 710 people survived. And then Carpathia rescued survivors. And then the last one is world shocked by tragedy. And then for my recommendation is we must increase lifeboat requirement and then improve communication, better iceberg detection, and the last one is stronger ship design. In conclusion, sea transportation is important for world trade and travel, but the Titanic disaster shows that safety must always be the first priority. After the tragedy, new safety laws and better ships design were introduced, making modern sea transport safer. However, risks still exist. So ships must continue improving in technology, safety drills, and communication. By learning from past mistakes like Titanic, sea transportation can become safer and more dependable for everyone. This is my references, and that's all from me. Thank you.